Are you over 70 and feel like your eyes are getting drier every morning? That even reading, something so simple, has become a challenge, even with glasses? That the images of the world around you seem to lose sharpness, as if someone turned down the contrast of your life? If these situations sound familiar, then what I'm about to reveal may be your only real chance to preserve your vision, and maybe even recover it, before it disappears for good. In fact, if you care about your visual independence and want to keep seeing the faces of your loved ones clearly, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel now. What you're going to discover here isn't in eye drop commercials or conventional clinics. And it could mean the difference between living autonomously or relying on someone just across the room. I'm Dr. Jonathan Blake, an ophthalmologist with over 30 years of experience, and I'm here to tell you something that has never appeared in any medication leaflet. There is a 100% natural way to strengthen and protect your eyes. A method that is quiet, but powerful. And the most impressive part? It might already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet. Yes, while you're listening to this message, your retina, that fragile and vital structure, could be silently dying. That's because after the age of 70, each day without proper nutrition accelerates the weakening of eye cells. The scariest part? You don't feel pain. There are no alarm signals. Until suddenly, you realize you can no longer see your grandchild's smiling face. And that truly hurts. But here's what no one told you. There is a solution. It's not hidden in secret labs, and it doesn't cost a fortune. In fact, it's always been in plain sight, but ignored because it doesn't generate profits for the pharmaceutical industry. We're talking about 3 specific seeds. 3 foods as simple as they are powerful, which, when used the right way, can stop this process of deterioration and even reverse some of the damage. The 3rd seed in particular does something so remarkable for your eyes that many doctors wouldn't believe it unless they saw the results with their own eyes. But before we get to that one, let me tell you what happened with Maria. Maria came to my office at age 74 with an empty look in her eyes, the kind you see in someone who's already losing hope. For 2 years she had spent a small fortune on eye drops, supplements, and specialist appointments. Her eyes were constantly as dry as paper, she could barely read for more than a few minutes, and she avoided driving at night because the lights blinded her. Her family was worried, she felt defeated, and I knew that if we didn't act fast, her visual independence would soon be gone entirely. That's when I decided to change everything. I implemented with Maria a protocol I had never tested before with that level of precision. And what happened next was so transformative that you need to listen all the way to the end to understand the true power of what is within your reach. What almost no ophthalmologist explains is that Maria's problem, and possibly yours, didn't start in the eyes. It started in the blood. The retina is one of the most demanding tissues in the human body. It needs oxygen and nutrients in constant, precise doses. Without them, it gradually shuts down. And after the age of 70, 3 enemies begin attacking it all at once. The first is the reduction in blood circulation to the eyes, which can drop by up to 40%. This means that visual cells quite literally begin to starve. The second enemy is even more insidious: chronic inflammation. A slow yet devastating process that consumes your vision cell by cell, like a silent flame that never goes out. And the third enemy? Your natural tear production collapses. Your eyes become dry, vulnerable, and exposed. That's why with Maria, I started with something simple but powerful. I added a tablespoon of ground chia seeds to her breakfast. Most people have no idea what these tiny seeds are capable of. They are the richest plant-based source of omega-3, a specific type called alpha-linolenic acid. It acts like high-octane fuel for the cells in the retina. 3 weeks later, Maria called me, emotional. Her eyes were no longer as dry as before. She could read for longer, without pain, without that exhausting haze. And most incredibly, for the first time in years, she no longer needed artificial tears so frequently. But I knew that was only the beginning. The real villain was still lurking: free radicals. They attack the most sensitive part of your eyes, the macula. That's the part that allows you to read, recognize faces, and see details. When this region is under attack, colors fade, shapes blur, and light becomes harsh. It's as if invisible darts are constantly piercing the most noble part of your vision. So, I added the second seed to the protocol. Ground flaxseed, 3 times a week, mixed into yogurt. This seed contains lignans, powerful antioxidants that create a true shield against free radical attacks. Even more, it activates a little-known connection between the gut and the eyes, something few health professionals consider, but which could be key to restoring visual health. After 1 month of using flaxseed, the results in Maria were noticeable even to people who weren't doctors. Colors appeared more vivid. She said the shades of green on the trees looked richer. Bright lights no longer bothered her at night. And most surprisingly, she began noticing details she had forgotten even existed. But there was still one more thing. A third seed, nearly forgotten, that can do what many believe to be impossible. Regenerate retinal cells. Not with surgery. Not with expensive medications. But with a special, natural preparation that you can also make at home. If you're ready to discover the secret that has changed the lives of dozens of my patients, stay with me. This third seed seemed, at first glance, ordinary. But the way it works in the eyes is simply unbelievable. I'm talking about the sunflower seed. Not just any seed, but a specially prepared version that releases compounds normally locked inside raw seeds. When I told Maria about it, her eyes lit up. And your reaction might be the same in just a few moments. When properly activated, the sunflower seed becomes a true regenerative cocktail for the eyes. It contains the most bioavailable form of vitamin E found in nature. That alone would be impressive. But the secret lies in the unique combination of vitamin E, selenium, and zinc, all present in this tiny seed. These 3 elements work together on 3 absolutely crucial fronts. The first is the repair of the tear film. And that's far more important than it seems. This film protects the eyes against infections, dust, pollutants, and even cellular aging itself. When it breaks down, your eyes are left unprotected and vulnerable. Sunflower seeds can restore it at a molecular level. The second front of action is the reconstruction of the tiny blood vessels that supply the retina. Think of these vessels as little hoses that, over time, get clogged, lose flexibility, and stop delivering oxygen. Sunflower seeds restore that elasticity. They nourish, clear, and strengthen. But the third front is the one that still moves me the most: targeted cell regeneration. For decades, we believed that retinal cells, once damaged, could never recover. But recent studies have proven that in specific nutritional environments, these cells can indeed regenerate. And sunflower seeds, when prepared the right way, deliver exactly the nutrients needed to trigger that process. It was when we introduced this third element that Maria began experiencing something truly extraordinary. Within a few weeks, she said she could see the numbers on her phone screen more clearly. A month later, she was able to read a medication label without using a magnifying lens. 3 months later, her ophthalmologist was stunned by the test results. The degeneration had stopped, and in some areas, had even begun to reverse. But she wasn't the only one. Another patient of mine, Roberto, age 78, followed the same protocol. He was on the verge of completely losing his central vision due to macular degeneration. Doctors had already told him, "There's nothing else we can do." Roberto was preparing for darkness. But he decided to try. He started taking 1 tablespoon of ground chia seeds in the morning, flaxseed 3 times a week, and sunflower seeds as an afternoon snack, prepared using a method I teach my patients. The method is simple but must be followed precisely. Place 1 tablespoon of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds in filtered water for 2 hours. Then drain. Pat them dry with a towel. Bake them at low temperature, 90 degrees Celsius, about 195 degrees Fahrenheit, for 15 minutes. This activates the regenerative compounds and dramatically improves absorption. After 6 weeks, Roberto called me, in tears. He could read the numbers on his phone without glasses. 3 months later, his ophthalmologist couldn't believe the results. What once seemed irreversible had begun to reverse. But here's where you need to pay close attention. This protocol only works if all 3 seeds are used together. Each one prepares the ground for the other to act with even greater power. It's like a biochemical symphony, where each seed plays a fundamental role. If you use only one, you might see some benefit. But if you use all 3, as I recommend, the results could completely transform the way you see the world. And this goes beyond your eyes. What I discovered after applying this protocol to more than 500 patients, you'll understand in the next moments, and it might change everything you believe about aging. When I started noticing the positive side effects of the 3-seed protocol, I must admit I was surprised. Patients who had come to me just to recover their vision were returning with reports of improved memory, better focus, and even deeper sleep. That led me to investigate more thoroughly. And what I found was truly revealing. There is a direct and deep connection between the eyes and the brain, much more than we often realize. The same nutrients that nourish and restore the retina also play a key role in supporting brain connections. Think about it. The retina is actually an extension of the brain. It develops from the same embryonic tissue. So when you nourish your retina, you are, in practice, nourishing your central nervous system. That's how I came across the case of Elena, an 82-year-old woman. She started the protocol because of chronic dry eyes. 2 months later, not only was her vision clearer, but she also began remembering the names of people she hadn't recalled in years. Her family noticed she was more lively, more engaged. She started conversations, laughed more easily, and was more alert. And it all began with 3 simple seeds. That's why, from this point forward, I'm going to teach you the full protocol that has been transforming the lives of hundreds of patients. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In the morning, take 1 tablespoon of ground chia seeds, preferably with breakfast. Also add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to yogurt, a smoothie, or a protein shake. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, take 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds prepared in the way I've already explained. And in the afternoon, add another tablespoon of chia seeds to your main meal. On Sundays, take a break from chia and flaxseed, and consume only the prepared sunflower seeds. This gives the body a small reset and helps the protocol work even more effectively. This is a simple, straightforward, and natural plan. It doesn't require expensive medications or endless doctor visits. And it offers an unexpected bonus. It also improves cardiovascular health. The same nutrients that feed the eyes and brain, like healthy fats, antioxidants, and essential minerals, also strengthen the heart and improve overall circulation. It's as if you're caring for 3 vital systems all at once: vision, mind, and heart. And all of this with accessible foods you can find at any natural store or local supermarket. Think about everything you've lived through so far. Your eyes showed you the first words you ever read, the first photos of your family, the face of someone you love. They've been with you for decades. They've shown you life. And now, maybe, they're asking for help. Don't ignore that request. If you've made it this far, it's because you care. It's because you want to do something for yourself. And I'm here to tell you, it's never too late. It's never too late to reverse damage. It's never too late to restore your vision, your memory, your clarity. So do this for yourself. Go to your natural health store today. Buy chia seeds, flaxseed, and sunflower seeds. Prepare them the way I've taught you. And begin. 1 spoon a day could be the difference between maintaining your independence or relying on someone to guide you. Between seeing your grandchild's face clearly, or just in shadow. The choice is yours. And if this message touched you, gave you hope, or taught you something new, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel right now. This helps the message reach other people who, just like you, are searching for real solutions. In the comments, let me know if you've experienced any of the symptoms we've talked about here. I want to follow your journey. I want to know if you're going to start this protocol. Because what you do today can change how you'll see and live the next years of your life. Take care of your eyes. They still have so much left to show you.